Hi, it's Neil Frankel with WealthPilgrim.com. Today we'll spend 3 minutes and we'll take a look at Lending Club. They are the biggest player in peer-to-peer lending. Let's see if they're a good fit for you if you want to borrow money or if you want to make investments. It's not as simple as you might think. As you can see, Lending Club does two things. They take a pool of people who need to borrow money for whatever reason, and they put them together with people who have money to invest, either individuals or large institutions. And the payoff is that the people who are borrowing money can reduce, hopefully, the cost that they otherwise would pay out. If you've got a 15% credit card or something like that, you might be able to reduce that cost significantly. And likewise, for investors, instead of getting the paltry returns that are available in the bank, you can possibly get a lot more return. Let's take a look at this first from the standpoint of an investor and then from the standpoint of a borrower. So from an investor standpoint, what happens is Lending Club ranks the different people all the people who want to borrow money, and they rank them from F to A based on their credit scores and what they've done in the past and how they're going to use the money. So the lower the score, the higher the interest that they pay and the more that you make. So most people who invest money are mostly interested in getting their money back. That's a primary objective. And so you might want to skew your investments to higher rated people. Now, if you have thousands of dollars to invest in Lending Club, you may want to put $25 with each person, with each lender, borrower, and diversify the heck out of it, which is probably a very good idea. But even then, you don't know exactly how trustworthy these people are going to be. Remember, these loans are not based on any assets. Lending Club has had a good track record in the past. It's no guarantee of the future. So I recommend that you highly diversify if you want to go ahead and recognize that these loans are basically unsecured, and when interest rates are low in the market, it might be relatively easy for these people to make their loan payments. But if their mortgage payment goes up with variable rates, they may have less money to pay you down the line. If they lose their job, also if the economy falls off all the wheels, then also it may be very difficult for these people to make their payments. So you want to be very cognizant. And on my website, wealthpilgrim.com, I go through this in detail, how you can make sure that you can look a little bit deeper into the credit value, the credit worthiness of anyone you invest with. And I recommend you take it nice and slow. Now let's take a look at the people who, from a borrower standpoint, if you need to borrow money, let's see if this is a worthwhile exercise. If you're in debt and you are paying more than 8 or 9%, it's a no-brainer, in my opinion, to go over to Lending Club and put up your profile. It's quick, it's easy, and you might get funded quicker than you think. There are a lot of people lining up to fund loans. So it's just a no-brainer. You could potentially save a lot of money, and there's basically no risk to putting up a profile. I highly recommend it. It's just, you know, if you're paying 10% and you can get funded at 6%, why not save that 4%? It seems to be a no-brainer. The bottom line on Lending Club is this. If you're an investor, I recommend that you take it very slow if you invest at all. Yes, you can invest thousands of dollars or very little money. Yes, you can invest in as little as $25 increments, and they can diversify it for you. They recommend that you invest in a portfolio of securities of A, B, C quality loans so that you get diversified risks, get a high rate of return. But nevertheless, you have to be willing to accept that there may and will be, in my opinion, defaults the longer you go. Okay? And I explain a little bit more about the time element and why you need to understand that the growth of Lending Club impacts its success rate. So you want to come over to Wealth Pilgrim and check that out, really understand it before you invest. If on the other hand, if you need to borrow money, I think it's a no-brainer. It's a great potential way to save a lot of money and to significantly take a chunk out of the interest rate that you're paying. But also, come over to my site anyway, because there's a few tricks and tips on how you can market yourself in Lending Club to make sure that you get funded as fast as possible. You want to make yourself as attractive to the people who are investing as possible, and I go through that in my website. So I'd love to get your input. I'd love to hear from you. wealthpilgrim.com. Shoot me an email. Let me know if you've used Lending Club as an investor or as a borrower, and I'd love to hear about your experiences. Thanks.
For more great ideas on how to have no money worries no matter what, come on over to wealthpilgrim.com, sign up for your free weekly updates, and get a free e-course on how to make better investments.